Okay. Okay. Everyone sit up straight. Everyone slouch. Everyone sit like Mike for a minute. Just a dominating stance. Yeah. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Rec Report episode
19.
19, baby. Today we are talking about knife modifications. We're going through, we actually had a lot of awesome responses. We made a post on Monday in the Rec Room, which, by the way, if you guys are not a part of the Rec Room, go ahead and follow the link in the description. Get on there because that's where we get a lot of the content for these actual shows. Anyway, we asked you guys to post your coolest modified knives. So we're going to be reacting to those today. So stick around for some badass modified knives on this week's episode of the Rec Report.
Hey, what's up?
All right, guys. Sweet Lord. So before we jump into your guys' modified knives from the Rec Room, what are your guys' favorite brands when it comes to knife mods, clips, scales, that kind of stuff? I know you got a favorite.
Fireside.
Yeah.
One for me. Millet. Not doing as much these days. It
Sure.
doesn't seem. But Millet was kind of like an OG aftermarket part company.
And both those are U.S. made, which is really cool because we do see a whole lot of Chinese made aftermarket parts, which is cool. You can get some really good deals on some aftermarket parts when you go foreign made. I'm gonna stick with another kind of U.S. made guy, Adam Purvis.
Yep.
He is known for his designs when it comes to his mid-techs and his production stuff, but he makes some amazing, specifically Timascus clips and back spacers for not only his own knives, but for knives across the whole spectrum, which is really cool. He's a firefighter. He's an absolute hard ass, but a really, really nice guy to boot. Riley, how about you, brother?
Fireside is the TurboTough brand, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go with them.
You're just a big TurboTough guy.
It's really cool.
It is, and I think the thing
Feels
that's
so
really,
good.
it does.
It reminds me of my Carta, but just slightly different.
And it feels a little bit more weatherproof, than my card. I'm sure my card is fine in all those situations, but TerraTough just has that little bit of almost like a synthetic-y vibe to it. So it feels like it'd probably be okay if it got like waterlogged or anything like that. How about Lynch? Lynch is another kind of OG company when it comes to scales. He does amazing aluminum scales, great titanium, specifically deep carry clips for a lot of different companies. So I think he
holds
definitely,
a huge part of the market.
he does.
I remember I got my first aftermarket Spyderco clip from Lynch, and it got changed to I don't know how many different colors, anodizing it, and that clip went through a lot.
Oh yeah.
I liked it.
And
It was
it's
just
still
fun to
one
mess
of
around
the
with.
best warranties. Like I had a clip bend out, send him a message on Instagram. Hey, can I send this in and have it fixed? He's like, keep it, fix it if you want. I'm sending you a new one. Don't worry about it.
That's really cool. See, that's another thing about this. Like we buy brands, like knife brands that we really like, oftentimes because of their good warranty. So to have that same kind of warranty support for the aftermarket parts themselves, super underrated. That's really, really cool. Another thing I wanted to talk about before we hopped in was what is a knife that has a mandatory upgrade? When you get it, you know you're going to change something on it right away.
Whenever I buy Para 2s, I don't often buy them, but whenever I do, or happen to stumble across one, I always have to flip the clip. Mandatory upgrade.
Yeah, that's one that people oftentimes complain about. They ship tip down. So
And that's because Eric and Sal prefer it that way.
yeah, so that's the way they're designed. Para 3, not so much. That actually ships tip up. But yeah, I think that's
strange how that works.
Isn't that weird? But we've actually gotten calls in the store where we ship someone a knife, a PM2, and they receive it and say, hey, why'd you guys swap the clip before you sent it to me? Because they're not used to getting a knife with in the tip down configuration. And we're like, no, actually that's how they ship. They're like, well, Imperator 3 didn't come like that. And we're like, yep, that's confusing. I know. I'm sorry about that. For me, it also involves a Spyderco clip, but it is swapping the standard Spyderco clip on most of their models with a Lynch or an MXG deep carry clip right off the bat. I think it sets a lot better. With the PM2 specifically, with that lanyard tube being so high up, I just feel like it sticks out of the pocket a whole lot. And I've never had an issue like grabbing the knife and pulling out of the pocket with a deep carry clip on it. So I just almost always swap it out with a titanium clip of some sort. How about you, Ev?
I have two. Both also include pocket clips.
Yep.
The Mannix almost always put a clip from Blades We Love on there. It really just lets it sit a little bit deeper, but it's not a completely deep carry pocket clip.
Yep.
And then with Chris Reeve, the lip on the pocket clip is a little too drastic.
Yeah.
So I always take it off and bend that down just a little bit so it doesn't snag.
Interesting. It has too much of a ramp up at the end. Yeah, I've heard people complaining about that because it can catch on stuff.
Oh, it catches on everything.
Yeah, and it's easier to throw into the pocket. It's probably the idea behind it being at like 45-degree angle. But no, I totally get that. No, that's cool. And the kind of stuff that we're going through today, they are taking it a step beyond the stuff that we're talking about. You know, like they went crazy on these knives, and modifications, while certain manufacturers detest them, they really, really make the knife industry a lot more interesting. You can take a knife that is one way and make it look totally different, perform differently, feel different, with regrinds and scales and Cerakote and acid washing and all this stuff. It just totally opens up the door to turn a regular knife into something extraordinary. So we're gonna go through the submissions that you guys gave us in the Rec Room on Facebook and, you know, give you guys our reactions. Starting off, we got Chris W. Shout out Chris W, OG fan. Looks like what he's got here, what are those, some sort of acrylic?
Yeah,
they are shiny.
Yeah, that's really cool. It almost has like a tortoiseshell vibe to it. I wish they would include who made all of these, and we can go back and ask them. But
those look really cool.
It looks really, really nice. And I think specifically with the PM2 there, I think there's enough contouring on that handle that I wouldn't feel like it was going to slip out of my hands, because it doesn't look like there's much visual texture on there. But that looks really, really nice. And I always like a matching set. Looks badass. Smock PM2. It looks like we got some of your work up next.
Yeah.
From Mr. Dan Tan.
Mr. Dan, great customer. Silly guy.
He is.
Never talked to him, but super silly. We did the Cerakote on the blade and hardware on both of these. He had the OD green scales made through someone else, can't quite remember. Yeah, he just kind of wanted that REC look. Obviously, we don't do the full REC look on Spyderco's, but he found a way around it, and it looks awesome.
It does. And I wish he would have shown it. He actually has a really, really cool version of the Spyderco logo that involves some of the Australian
that's like
flag.
That's the Dan Tan logo.
Yeah, he has his own logo, and it looks awesome. And you guys ended up laser engraving it back on there.
Oh yeah,
if I remember correctly. And that looked really, really cool. Next up, we got Sam. We got an 0562.
Looks like some tree bark scales.
Yeah, that must have, do you think that started off as the Thai version and it actually just got modified like that?
Fun fact, today we just added a finger choil on one of these and it completely changed the knife.
Really?
We put it side by side to an actual hinderer and it actually looked really close.
That's sweet. How'd you guys end up doing that?
Dremel.
That's awesome. That's
We're
really,
just
really
playing
cool.
in the back room trying to figure out how we can do some of this stuff, and right now that's all we had. So
was it Andrews?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was like, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Actually, I've been wanting to try that so we can offer it as a surface."
We got some more of your work, Everett. Things are going to start looking more and more familiar as we go through here, because you got a lot more REC Cerakote in there.
Tucson.
Yeah, this is Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember doing that one?
I do.
That really
Couldn't
does
believe
change
he
the
wanted
entire
to
look.
spend the money to have the Tucson customized, but to each his own.
You know, with Greg, he doesn't cut corners. Let's just say that. No, if he's gonna get it done, he's gonna get it done right. We got Brian.
It's my all-time favorite Cerakote job that we've done.
Yeah, that one turned out really, really cool. My favorite, I don't know if you guys have even put it out there yet, but was that Vero Fulcrum or Axon you guys did? Has that been put out there yet?
Just the scale.
Okay.
Put out there.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that is by far my favorite from you guys. But obviously this one.
there's a lot of our Cerakote work in these comments.
Yeah, I know. I know. It actually turned out really cool. But that one's obviously awesome.
That penguin was
Yeah.
sweet.
Yep.
This one was fun because it was like, didn't really understand how we were gonna put his idea on the knife, but Eric really knocked that one out of the park.
So that was one where he just kind of gave you a theme and he said just
he
kind of go
came
crazy
in
on
with
it.
a picture and said, I want my knife to look like this. And we're like, all right, let's do it. And it took a little bit longer than we expected, just trying to brainstorm, but at the end of the day, Eric, his creativity really came through on that one.
Oh yeah. No, he's a creative gentleman. I like to see what his mind creates when he gets like a little bit of a loose kind of theme. We got ourselves another Freddy Krueger knife
That
here
blade is gnarly.
from Zachary. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I remember when he posted that one. It's like an acid etch.
That looks amazing. And with some micarta scales on there. It almost kind of gives it that sweater vibe, you know, because it has that texture to it. That looks
Definitely
super
gets
badass.
sweater vibes, and then the blade, obviously, that kind of burned skin feel.
This is a really, really unique one, this pair of 3 that he did in like a Levi's kind of vibe to it. I want to know how he did that clip.
Yeah, I wonder if it's dipped in something.
I don't know, but it looks awesome. We'll have to get more info from Zachary, but that
Yeah,
looks
that is
so
sweet.
freaking cool. And even the acid wash on the blade has a denim vibe to it. Like, I don't know how he did that, but it looks freaking awesome.
I wonder if that's like hydro dipped or something.
And then we got the Shamu Shaman, is what he said, which totally works there. I think those are Cerberus scales. Those
It
look
looks like they're designed.
yeah, like with that spiral pattern on there.
Oh, yeah.
That looks really, really freaking cool. And all of these, it looks like, just started off as standard S30V Spydercos. So the possibilities are totally endless when it comes to this kind of stuff. Keith, it looks like we got ourselves, obviously, I mean, the GB2 up top, that has a Lynch long Spyderco clip on there. I'm not exactly sure who did the clip on this Liang Ma, because I don't believe, is that the standard clip
I think
on
it's
there?
a stock clip.
That looks awesome. And then down here, we kind of have, what is that? Raindrop carbon fiber, is that what they call
I'm not
that?
too sure. That's a cool design.
It looks
It
like
is cool
Raindrop
carbon
Damascus. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But that looks freaking badass. Still, he's rocking the stock clip on that one. Must not bother him like it bothers me. We got Preppenstein next. This one started a bit of controversy.
Yeah, that one broke the internet
Yeah.
for a minute. And so many messages and emails came from this one.
And this one, we're retiring this.
Oh yeah, that
This
was
look.
the only one.
Yeah, the Mick PM2. He said the coolest knife, period, and 10 people agreed with him, so I guess he's correct. Okay, so this next one, the artistry on these scales is incredible. I'm just gonna zoom
Is that
in.
all engraved?
It looks like it's all laser engraving, but whoever did the original artwork on there, they look like brass scales.
It
to me.
reminds me a lot of the artwork that gets done on Zebas or the bag knives. They
Yes.
do a lot of like laser etching, and it's super clean.
I really like the way they use the negative space there. And even when they have like large areas of black engraving there, it just looks so crispy. Yeah, I want to know who did those scales because that looks freaking awesome. Some real art there. That was from a gentleman named Anthony. Next we have Antoine. The picture is gorgeous, but it's dark. And I think this is a FDE blade that you guys Cerakoted. Are the scales done on that? I can't tell if that's lighting or if they're actually
I think
green.
those are the stock scales.
Yeah, wasn't that a Smoky Mountain
Oh,
exclusive?
that's cool.
Or no,
Was that
theirs was G10.
That's right.
So this has to be a Cerakote. But he said he threw a tritium thumbstick on
Dude, that is super badass. He almost made himself a little operator bug out there. That is super sweet.
Cool picture.
Yeah, great picture. Next we got a TAC P that you guys Cerakoted. Was this a custom job or is this one of the ones that we made and then sold in store?
This was a custom order.
That looks so good. Yeah, the way you guys tape it off and the way you guys like ground the end down makes that really, really look factory. I really like that. Are those titanium, the TAC Ps? Yeah, so that always looks really good, Cerakoted. This one is a really, really cool matching set. I like to see that kind of across different brands.
I've never seen a Victorinox look like that.
Me neither.
That's
That
really
looks
cool.
really cool. With the pocket clip.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to swap scales on a Victorinox like that? I feel like they'd be difficult to disassemble, right?
Yeah, they're all pinned together for the most part.
I wonder how he did that then. Because that looks
Those
really, really
top
cool.
scales do pop off, so they might just be epoxied on.
Oh, okay, that would be cool. And yeah, just amazing anodization and the topographical laser engraving on there looks badass.
I feel like we had a PM2 in the custom shop with these scales at one point.
Yeah, I wonder who makes those. Those are really, really nice.
They are awesome.
Fitment looks really good. Obviously drilled out in all 4 places, and I like that clip also. This is also one of my favorite
I remember that one.
Cerakote jobs that you guys have done. This was another one that he just kind of said go wild, right?
That's Iron
With an
Man.
Iron Man, yeah, with an Iron Man
Yeah,
theme,
he
but he
kinda
just kind of
wanted-
said go wild.
The one thing he told us is that he wanted the teal to show through. So, and then it was like, have at it from there.
That's really cool. Yeah, this one, I mean, you can sort of tell from the picture when you zoom in, but like all the edges, the high points, you guys took down with a little bit of fine grit and let the gold shine through there. So is that 2 different layers on the scales itself?
Yep.
The red and the gold?
It's gold and crimson.
Yeah, that looks gorgeous. Really, really cool. It makes me want to do an entire Superman
Yeah.
or superhero
That would
themed
be-
line of Spyderco's. That would be super sweet. This is one of the craziest things. This is probably inspired by your...
Reminds me of your pumpkin blade.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we did this. So,
Oh yeah, this is Mike Bean.
and it was, I think it was in kind of response to my pumpkin shaman, if I'm not mistaken. When
Oh,
he
yeah.
brought it in, he was like, I like that, but kind of want to do spiders. So I was like, the blade has been done 3 times now.
Is it
was-
still this? Is this the most recent?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was black, and then it was Northern Lights, and then we did the crimson, just because the crimson looks awesome with the zirconium scales.
It does. Is this an OSU themed knife now?
I don't
Or
know if
is-
that's
or-
what he was going for,
but
and
that's
I hope
kinda
you
my
didn't
vibe.
ruin it for him. But super clean.
It does. It looks really, really good. And all these Spider logos on here, he actually went the extra step to reach out to Spyderco and get permission to put all those on there, which is really cool.
Wow.
So that's on the up and up, which is awesome. I love to see that kind of stuff.
Spyderco's been surprisingly acceptive of us customizing stuff, even though they do say it voids the warranty. Like,
Oh, yeah.
talking to some of the reps, they're like, "We hear you guys do great work."
That's cool.
We actually had to send some stuff in for warranty. Some screws messed up.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't send us the screws. We sent them the customized knife, and they sent it back with a note saying this looks awesome.
Oh, that's really cool.
They fixed it though. They got us the new screws.
That's super badass. Okay, so this is one that tends to annoy people. Here we have a large Inkosi Tonto modified to have a spider hole.
I'm thinking
I
about having
love
that
these. Yeah, I know you got something up your sleeve, but I always have loved the
Yeah,
way
it looks
these
good.
look. Especially with how smooth you personally can make Chris Reeve knives. I think it has a little bit more application. And are these generally only on Inkosis because of the way the handle's cut out? You can actually access.
No, I think Jamie actually has a Chris Reeve of 21.
Okay.
It's done, and the guy that did the hole actually modified the lock bar so that you can access it from
The backside?
to Spidey flick it.
That's super sweet. Another great picture, by the way. That's Brandon White, by the way.
Is that a Spidey hole Norseman?
Oh my god.
Talk about some controversy.
That is hysterical.
Looks good, though.
You take amazing pictures. That also looks super awesome. And then is the last one.
The last one,
Oh yeah.
some Cerakote work from us.
Yeah.
The blade was copper washed, and he wanted hardware to match. So he sent it in, and we did what we could to make a custom mix for a copper wash color.
Yeah, the pivot. The pivot turns out really, really nice. You can see that compared to the actual
clip on
blade.
the next photo, kinda.
Oh, yep. Here we go. Yeah, that gives you a little bit more real estate to be able to see what it looks like. That was just a really cool job in general. I like these kind of mods because you know that's the only one in the world that looks like that. So that's super unique. If you ever saw that picture online, you could tell it was Brandon's, which is really cool. Another kind of similar, in a similar vein, Ryan Harrell's got all these.
He's got the best REC collection.
He does. He has amazing, amazing pieces. Obviously, we got a Vero, a Brian Brown, and a Koenig. Thank you, man. A Koenig Arius there at the bottom. And then I was trying to think of what this Vero was called. That's why I couldn't think of it. But then we got a Fulcrum over there to match as well with the BY Slither matte, which is cool. Another super, super unique Cerakote project, and he kind of started that trend of just wrecking everything, which is awesome. Look at this.
I was trying to figure out, like, I see a couple different faces. I don't know if they're supposed to be faces.
I see
like
this guy here
artwork.
almost going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is really, really cool. I wonder if this is laser engraving or what.
It's hard to tell, like on the, I can't tell if those are brass or tie just because of the lighting.
Yeah.
Artwork is super cool.
An S45 blade too.
Yeah, it must be a newer one. Because that would have been because you know they did the S45 sprint run back in the day, but that was only satin. So you know if it's black, it's relatively new. Oh, Zach Holstein, the homie. This is I want everyone to have the opportunity to see this knife in person.
Yes.
Because it's hard to say, or it's hard to tell, because this right here, it looks like we just wrecked this knife.
Yeah, photos don't do it justice.
But will you explain the process of what you guys did to the blade there?
So essentially, it's just burnt bronze, and then Cerakote has a product called the FX series, and it's just shimmer that you add to clear coat. So there's a red blaze, is what it's called. Clear coat applied over the burnt bronze, so in certain lights you get like a really nice red hue. Photos don't do it justice. I was trying to send them pictures when we were doing it, and I'm like, you just have to see it in person.
You can kind of see it almost at the top of the jimping there. You can see a little bit of the red, but in person it looks incredible. Burnt bronze is already probably my favorite color from Cerakote, but it just looks amazing in person. And it was cool because that was the first knife that we did with that FX. It's just really cool to be able to see what it actually turns out looking like. Next we got David with one of the a very underappreciated Spyderco model, the 100 Pacer.
I love that model.
Did you guys do the work on this one?
I don't recall.
It looks really, really nice.
Projects.
There are so many projects, a lot of Spyderco projects, but that looks amazing.
I'm not going to say for sure, but it does look awesome.
Next, we have a very expensive piece, a very kind of rare piece, an XM18 3.5 inch, flipperless with a titanium front scale on that. Looks amazing. The ones without
like
the
brass
logo.
Hardware possibly also?
Probably. Looks gorgeous.
Looks super clean.
The flipperless XM18s are by far my favorite, especially in combination with that full tie. Cole, that is a beautiful picture of a beautiful knife, my friend. And he also posted right below that, he's got kind of a Joker set up there. What are those, Knife Joy? Knife Joy PM2s and Para 3s. And he's got purple hardware, purple clips. Looks super, super nice there. I always like the way that lime green looks with the black blade anyway. I think it looks gorgeous. Oh, Cole hitting us with more heat.
He's posted a bunch of
He's got more heat. He must be a serious Hinderer collector there.
Landscapes on these photos too.
I know. He's hitting us with heat in the photo department and in the knife department. We got another XM18 3.5. This one is flippered. What blade style is that? Looks kind of like the sheep's foot one, right? How it's poking up there at the very end.
That is probably the Skinner.
Skinner? Oh, you're probably right. You're probably right. But that looks awesome with that engraving there on the show scale. This might be the opposite side of that same knife.
I would say so, just based off the hardware and the blade.
Yep. So it is the Skinner there. That looks amazing with the jade. I've seen this color combo a couple different times on a few different knives, but the jade and that kind of like bronze, like rose gold color, I think looks really, really cool together. And really any of these I would love to have in a heartbeat. Final thing from Cole, we got a Tonto PM2 with some beautiful acid washing on the blade, and then some crazy anodization on the scales.
It's like that lightning stripe acid process.
Yeah. And I almost get kind of like a wave, like a beachy wave vibe from that. That is gorgeous. Cole, you got some really cool shit, man. That looks amazing. Clay, we got a video. Can we do videos? Can we pop a video in here? Fantastic. Clay, you're gonna get a little spot here. These look like they are fat carbon scales on a pair of 3. My favorite thing about this is that it's a 4V pair of 3, so you know it's a St. Nick's exclusive, and he kept the red vibe.
Red and black colorway. That's what I was gonna say.
It looks incredible. That is a super, super rare pair of 3 there, and I think it looks amazing. He's also got some more fat carbon on a beautiful DLC Shaman there. The purple haze fat carbon is...
That's actually Cole again.
Oh, that's Cole?
He's sneaking back with a Shaman pick.
Dang, he probably had to scroll back through his photos to find that picture. Yeah, that's awesome. I just thought that was Clay again, but no, that's Cole. He's got that purple haze scales on the Shaman.
REC exclusive colorway?
I didn't even recognize that. That's hilarious. So those are sharp dressed knives.
Oh yeah.
Shaman scales, which we have coming back. We have some more of those coming back in for you guys that are interested. And we're sprinkling in a little bit of an XM18 show scale vibe there as well.
Have one.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to pick one of those up.
To have one.
All right, guys, those are pretty awesome.
Those were sweet.
Pocket dump or $50 winner? Which one do you want to do next?
Pocket dump.
All right.
Always.
All right, Riley, you start.
All
Age
right.
age before beauty, I guess.
Yeah, I've been carrying the same knife for a long time now. Ever since the NYCKS knife show, I picked up the Spartan Harsey Designs. It's sweet.
Was that the first time that you actually got to handle a full-size Harsey like this?
I've never even known about them.
That's so
Until
cool.
that show.
That's so
and
cool.
I put it in my hand, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, they're solid.
I want one of these.
So these actually, I know we talk a lot about Chris Reeve. These actually have a lot in common with Chris Reeve, and their like heritage kind of goes along with Chris Reeve, which is really, really cool. The guys over at Spartan, awesome people. They have a wealth of knowledge, not only when it comes to knives, but military history. They're all veterans pretty much, which is really, really cool. So I think there is not a better choice for someone like you, Riley. For
Anything
me,
else?
oh, what you got us?
That's all.
No watch or anything today.
You're riding bare bones today. Just the essentials. For me, I'm rocking classic pair of 3. And of course, you know, I had to change the clip out to a Lynch Northwest clip. This one started off sandblast, but I'm kind of digging the wear on that.
Oh yeah.
I think that looks pretty cool. This might end up being a Cerakote project one of these days, just because, you know, I like to switch it up every now and then. But it's in a bento box. M390 pair of 3. This was a gift from my lovely Bailey. So if you're watching this, she's not watching this. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Everett, what you got?
Today, large and cozy Tonto.
The heat just keeps coming from that corner of the room.
Speaking of pocket clips, swapped it out for the Millet pocket
Oh,
clip.
that's cool. I didn't even know who that's who made that.
So old school. This has been in my collection, floating around for years, but had to throw that on there. Might be getting a Spidey hole soon. Not sure. Flashlight.
That's also a new act.
i3T Plus.
Yeah.
Wow.
EDC micro lanyard.
Shout out.
And pen, like always. Same Sailor.
It's not
My
matching
go-to.
though.
No, it has to match.
Shit.
So now I have to go be on the search for a blue pen. Or just buy a tactile turn. There we go. It matches. It's blue.
There you go, guys.
Sweet.
Let us know down below what you guys are rocking today. Hopefully it's something modified. If it's not, go ahead and carry one of your modified knives tomorrow. Bring that out, dust it off, throw it back into rotation, because that knife is specific to you, which is really freaking cool. Guys, $50 winner. These comments are coming from episode 18, which was our year in review. I really liked filming that video. It's just cool to look back.
Yep.
A year ago today, we weren't doing rec reports.
Nope.
We were rocking subscriber counts in the hundreds. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and for coming along on this journey with us. If you aren't subscribed, please do. We're not going to inundate you with a bunch of crap. It's going to be this kind of content. And
Also,
yeah,
check out our last video.
yeah, seriously.
Because the last rec report kind of teased and hinted at some big changes. So there's a whole video kind of explaining that, but new
Yeah.
facility coming soon.
If you guys haven't seen it, we're really, really excited to share that stuff with you. And we'll be keeping you guys in the loop when it comes to that stuff. All right, guys, here we go. Henry G. He says, I want to be a fly on the wall in your guys' shop to know what you guys to know what you guys are talking about, because the Spence is already killing me. He's talking about what we were alluding to in the last episode. Henry, if you haven't seen it, man, we're getting a new building. It's less than 2 miles away from where we currently are, but it's about 10 times the space, 5 times the amount of space when it comes to retail showroom, and then a lot more room to expand into some other cool stuff. So we will keep you guys.
Lounge,
Oh yeah,
meetups, new studio.
yeah, and people are already talking about holding a Millie Group meetup there, which would be really, really
Now we
freaking
just
cool.
have to move the kitchen to the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, do you think Mike would pay for this whole thing to get moved over there? Okay, cool. Yeah, that way we won't.
Can't lose the backdrop.
No, the backdrop is part of it. First 25-ish episodes are going to be here, and the rest are going to be, you know, in a nice new studio. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us on today's episode of the Rec Report. Let us know, what was your favorite modified knife that we showed off today, and what is your favorite modified knife in your collection? You guys got anything else?
That's it for me.
All right.
Good.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you guys in the next episode.